Hello, 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 and welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas. And we are on day four. And today I'm just going to be inviting you to consider practicing journaling. So many people I know have had a practice of journaling for years. And for me, it's been an on and off relationship because I have tended to make prayers or speak to guides or use EFT. However, there are times in my life when that doesn't feel like an easy option. And that's when journaling for me is a really good option. So if you've never journaled before, journaling is just a way of free flowing. You can write on a theme. And I was going to invite you to you might come to these lessons and think, well, why do I need this? Now, for a lot of people that I meet in my life and through my work with clients, they seem to have a lot in their life that's really working, and then there'll be one or two things that is a bit of a challenge. For me, my one of my biggest challenges in life has been having a belief in myself and money. Money has been a really big, sticky subject. And that is for a lot of people because if you think about the history of certainly women, we did not have access to money. We weren't even allowed to have a mortgage until 50 years ago. And journaling is just one way that you can really let yourself explore a theme without having to spend loads of money on a therapist or a coach. And you can just get it all off your chest. So you can choose one theme and see, okay, what do I believe here? What is going on in my life here? And also, you can just get stuff off your chest every day. So, for example, you might wake up and just journal, get things off your chest, and come to a point where you're like, yes, I'm ready for the day. Or you might choose to journal late at night, before you go to bed, rather late in the day. And at that point, you can just see what happened in the day. What do I need to make peace with? What do I need to remember? It's a way of exploring your subconscious and letting off steam, but it's also a way of exploring ideas. Because, for example, if you had an idea, when I was working towards creating Ascension TV online, I actually had a lot of resistance to it. So even though it dropped in like many of the projects I do as an inspiration, I was really excited about it. But when it came to actually starting to do the recordings, I knew I had a lot of angst around it, a lot of kind of conflict, and will anyone watch it? And yada, yada, yada. And journaling is a really good way. If you don't have access to a personal coach or mentor every week, it's a great way of giving yourself that chance to explore it. Now, on my website, openlotusliving.com, if you go to /resources, the resource tab, there's a tab along the top, you'll find loads of free PDFs that you can download, workbooks that help you on in different areas of your life. Now, there's one called Ascension Alignment Exploration, and that is a great tool if you think, yeah, I don't feel completely satisfied with my life, but like everything's kind of okay. What you can do is ask yourself the questions, work through the book, and you'll be invited to assess where it is in your life that is actually really fulfilled and really not to your liking. And that is then a way of saying, okay, so actually 9 out of 10 things are really great in my life, but maybe like Caroline, maybe money is still a bit weird in my life. And, you know, because I believe in past lives and I firmly believe or other lives, right? And some people would say they're all happening in this at the same time. That's a little bit of a stretch for me to always take on. But whatever your beliefs are, whether it's just you work within the realms of this life, we are still affected by things that happen earlier in our life from our parents, from our ancestors, and in my belief system, from other lives. So for me, a lot of the influence around money has been when I've had a life as a monk or a nun, and I've literally you basically let go of the material, right? You give up everything. You make a vow of poverty, yada yada yada, and you end up feeling like, unless I live in an ashram, I don't know how to exist in the world, right? And this is really challenging. And I knew as a kid, a part of me wanted to go and do that again. I really felt called to go to be a nun because I have such faith in God. And I didn't really know other options. It felt like you were either in that world or you were just not, and you were in the secular world. And it was like, I don't know, but something in me said, no, I don't think that's my life. Like, what if I want children? That's, it's not going to happen. So I didn't do that. But the energy of that still stayed with me. Okay. So some part of me is like, I don't know how to do things and earn money. Like, it doesn't feel right to do things to get money. It just feels really off. And a lot of people that call themselves light workers, starseeds, etc., healers, they have that thing because in other lifetimes, yeah, not just now, maybe if you lived in a tribe, you didn't have to think about the money. Your tribe, everyone looked after each other. There was bartering, there was a real camaraderie. So you lived with a big family that everyone looked after their own. It's not like that in this world. You can't rely on your parents to help you build your house because it costs thousands of pounds. And it just is just such a different way of life. And when I was growing up, I really found it hard. So that's just one example of if you have challenges with money, it's not about blaming yourself, shaming yourself. We know that doesn't work. We know it just never makes a difference, right? It just makes us feel worse, right? So that is one of the examples actually of my Come to Peace series, okay, the workbook series. So you can go ahead and look on the website if you've got a specific theme. Once you've done the Ascension alignment exploration, go ahead and find a theme, the workbook that matches the theme. So come to peace with money, come to peace with your body, with sex, with diet, whatever it is. I don't think I've done coming to peace with your body yet, actually. That's a kind of it's a strand of coming to peace with yourself. It's one of the things I will do because again, if you're not at peace with your body, that will undermine your peace with any other part of life. And I know this to be true because this has been my journey. I've had so many themes that I'm not quite at peace with, and it's messed up everything because ultimately, if you're not at peace with even one part of your life, that will ripple into other parts because you see people that are at peace and then you get jealous and da, 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 da. And this again is not about judging. This is just about doing the work, exploring, having a way to do that inner work on your own without spending lots of money. Fine, if you want to employ me as a life coach, that's fine, or go ahead and find another group program, whatever. I'm going to be starting a group program in the new year, but this whole series of the gifts of Christmas and the 12 days of Christmas is about giving you tools that can help you come to peace. So my friend, if you want to do a journaling practice and you've never done that before, what I recommend is choose or have a feeling. When does it feel like a good time? I'm lucky I work for myself. So sometimes I wake up and there's a big like fog and I'll do some journaling and I won't start my kind of working day, if you like, until 10. But I know not everyone does that. So have a think through your day, through your life. Think when would be a good time for me to journal. I recommend before bed because it can be quite energetically shifting and challenging when you journal because you're starting to let out some old stuff. And it can bring up emotions, it can bring up some memories. And then if you're in bed or you're about to wind down for bed, you can just go to bed and just let the energies rest. Okay. Okay. So once you've chosen when, make sure you're not going to be disturbed if you can help it, because it just means that you can really drop in and relax, enjoy, and just free flow that writing out of your system. The third thing you want to do is decide if you're going to work on a theme or just let yourself let go and just free stream. If you're wanting to work on a theme, what I would say is make a prayer to yourself and your higher self and guides, and do this in any situation. I'm all about prayer, as you might have heard in day one. But you can say, higher self, guides, and angels, overlit by Mother, Father, God, source of all, creator of all that is. Thank you for helping me let go of all that I need to and understand what I need to know about, say, money, right? What do I need to know about it? And believe me, even if you don't have the answer for your journaling, it will start shifting in you because you've opened the door for solution. And that's all we're doing in a lot of these tasks. We're saying, I know that I feel challenged with I feel a challenge in this situation. Thank you for helping me. And it will come. It might be that you read an article on Facebook or your friend gives you a book or you just have a conversation, or the journaling opens up and you start to compost that stuff that's been stuffed down inside, all right? Because it sucks. I know it because that was me. I smoked dope for 10 years. I totally denied all of my challenge. And I was an addict at the end of the day, you know? So this stuff, I know I've had to use a lot of different tools to start shifting the energy that was stuck inside me and come to peace with myself and forgive myself and like get over the things that I've done and experienced and move on, right? The next thing you want to do is make like I was going to say have a book. You know, you might choose a book that is beautiful, like a lovely cover. Like I have a mother that loves to buy me things. So this is one of her books that she would have bought me a long time ago, right? So every Christmas and birthday, I get a journal because she knows I journal. But you don't have to have a special book. You can use scrap paper, like anyone with a printer, right? In this day and age, you're going to have some scrap paper, right? Use it up. That's, you know, it's not about perfectionism here. It's just about doing a thing that helps you. If you want to use a special pen, you can use it. Some people like a plain paper and then you can draw as well as write. Some people just have the you know the lines, and that's okay. All right, so don't be perfectionist about it, but you can honor yourself if you want to buy that book and that is your book. Sometimes I burn my pages because I don't see like my writing's real bad. Okay, if I'm writing quick, you're not going to be reading it, and I don't want to read it back. It's just my bleh, it's my unhappy stuff or it's my conflict. So the things that I do keep though is when I'm journaling in a really long, you know, session, I'll often then start getting the inspiration. Okay. So what you're doing is by journaling, often we're clearing out our subconscious. And when we've cleared our subconscious, we're clearing the fog and then we start getting aligned inspiration from our higher self or our guides. Okay. So I will go through a journal when I've finished it and I'll be taking out all the really good ideas and I'll start them putting them into a PDF or I put them note them in my ideas book or whatever it is. Okay. So you can do, you know, some people keep their whole journal and they have journals for years and that's fine. You do what you want to do. I don't because I just want to get rid of the energy. And if you're doing that, please be careful. Don't obviously burn your house down. You can, you know, you could like rip them up really small and you could bury them in your garden paper or compost down. Do something that is symbolic for you. Don't have to follow anybody else. You don't have to follow what I do. I just don't see the point in carrying loads of that energy forward because it's old. I want to let go of it. Okay. It's why we breathe out. We let things go. Okay, so that is day 4. I hope you're having a beautiful Christmas. I really would love to hear from you if ever you've had an old journaling practice before, you know, and how that works for you, or whether it's new for you. It's not a new thing. Many people invite you to journal. It's a great way of like letting steam off, isn't it? And it's a really good way of exploring things in your life that maybe you don't have a friend that you can really talk to on that level, or, you know, your friends are busy. I have a lot of friends that are parents and I have, you know, I'm not a parent. So, you know, there's been times when I think, oh, I can really talk through that. And I think, no, they're really busy. They've got their kids. You know, that's fine. So when you have a journal, it's like your doorway, it's your meditation. And you can even, this is another thing that's coming through, you can even write it to God. Now, I talk to God a lot. It's happened that this year has brought me back, well, this last, you know, the 2025, I'm not in 26 yet. It's really brought me back to basics. And as a kid, I would talk to God a lot and I'd get answers. I'd get really clear gnosis, which I've written about in the Intuitive's Oracle. I've got that book. No, it's not got it to hand, but I write about direct revelation, okay? And when you make your prayers, as I talked about on day 1, you really open the door to receive. And that anyone can do. It's not a special thing. It's just that I had a really strong faith growing up and it's come back to me. So sometimes I can write and I'll be talking to if not God, a specific guide. So Saint Germain or um, Lord Khan or Jesus or Mother Mary. You can write them letters. You can also write letters to your loved ones. If you don't feel, you can tell them what you're really feeling, and it will move through the energy field to them and it will land. You can make a prayer to Archangel Gabriel. Actually, it's a whole other practice, but you can you can ask Archangel Gabriel to deliver them a message in the way that they will receive. Because if we've got a contentious subject, if we've got a bit of a rub there and it's a bit uncomfortable, sometimes it's really hard to find the words that mean something for you, but are going to land okay for that other person. But you need to process it. Write a letter asking Archangel Michael to deliver it in the right time and the highest and best good for that other person. And it basically means that you are having that conversation with them in the higher realms. You will deliver those words to the higher self of your, maybe it's your brother or your mother, whoever this little energy rub with, and the angels will bring it to them in the way that they can receive it, because it can be hard. We use different language, you use different intonation. What some people is accept, something is acceptable. Everyone's got these small inner rules, okay, which is why as a neurospicy person it can be really hard to navigate. I intuitively know everyone is different, and actually when some people say this, it means something different than the other person. That's not like in inability, that's a knowing that that's how humans work. And if you make an assumption, that's not going to go down well. Like 9 out of 10 times it might work, right? But those 1 out of 10 times it's not going to work. So, but coming back to your journaling, you can use that as your safe space. You can ask for it to be transmuted if you'd like to just release the energy of it with the violet flame. So you can call in Saint Germain, Archangel Zadkiel and Zadkiel. You can ask them to call in the violet flame and release the energy of it, because it can be very potent, and you'll notice the shift in your body if you're energetically sensitive or you're physically, you're sensitive to what goes on in your body. I guarantee you will start noticing the shift, because you're letting that out, which has been previously held in, and it's not healthy. Like holding in stress and pretending it's not there, it just creates more turmoil in the body. And that is why I feel like I've been guided to do this series. So that is a little bit about journaling. I'd love to hear from you and see how you get on. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your Christmas break. I hope you're having some lovely times and time in nature. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.